to Semojo Homestead on a Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah. Good times.
So we kind of spent the weekend just doing Mother Day type things.
Yep.
We didn't really get a lot of time in the garden, unfortunately, because it was a beautiful weekend.
Yes,
but
it
we
was.
just had a lot that needed to get done kind of in the house and stuff like that. Getting it kind of cleaned up.
Yes.
De-stressing this lady.
Decluttering.
But I did get some footage of our kids making the Mother's Day gift that they wanted to give you. You're out here getting the kids' Mother's Day present done, and maybe my mom's also. But this is an idea that we stole actually from Jess over at Roots and Refuge, but I'm really excited about it. Stolen ideas are always the best, right? You know. But I'm gonna show you guys in a second, and Joe actually is gonna tell you what we're doing.
We're doing glow in the dark painting, but we're doing it on rocks, not really on paper like you usually would do. We're doing it on rocks because we're gonna write our prayer over it, and so it's gonna be cool. When it's my bedtime, when it gets dark again and it's my bedtime, I could go outside and see the glowing rocks.
Yeah, pretty cool. What I love about this idea for it being like a Mother's Day gift is the fact that moms, especially this one right here, are like prayer warriors. If you're a Christian, if you're a believer, and we are.
Yeah.
And so this basically just gives her arrows in her quiver to fight. I mean, what better way than like for our kids to write down prayer requests than anyone else, and then leave them in the garden in her favorite spot where she comes to pray, for her to discover them and be able to pray more specifically for our kids.
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited.
and for me, and for her, and whoever else writes a prayer request on it. So
yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be neat to watch it. It's also, I think, going to be really neat to watch them be answered. Like the director at our dance studio, every New Year, her and her kids make a new prayer board, and it has envelopes, and they put in prayer requests about school, friends, other concerns, and then they have an envelope that says answered, and so they can transfer it to that envelope. And I just thought that this is kind of sort of like that, in that same vein. Yeah. And I could write, when it was answered, or...
You know what would be neat? This is just us brainstorming right now. You guys are in the conversation. So we only had enough paint to paint one side. And so that painted side is where the prayer request gets read, because it's like the bright colors.
Oh, yeah.
You just flip it over to the white side.
Yes.
The solid white.
Yes.
Because it's been like covered and it is no longer needed.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. So maybe like to, I don't know, find a way, like pictures or something. Find a way to document it. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah, if any of you guys have done anything kind of along these lines, we would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's so cool when you come up with creative ways to express your faith, whatever your faith may be, and really find these creative ways that it gets incorporated into your everyday life and habits and everything else, because it just puts it in front of you, keeps it there in front of you even more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's neat too, because Josiah is learning to read. The girls obviously read, and they all come through the garden, so it kind of will prompt them to pray as well. Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
Like an Easter egg.
Yes. Something else that is just kind of a family update. Talking about prayer requests and answers. This kind of flows right into that. We had kind of some fun news this week about Selah. So Selah, if you've been following us, she was diagnosed with scoliosis. And we've kind of been walking that journey for a couple years now. Well, when she started going to school, for whatever reason, it progressed pretty rapidly. So in October, we discovered her curve had increased by 20 degrees.
Yeah.
So,
which was like not in the right direction,
not in the right
obviously, it
direction.
increased.
Yes, it increased by 20 degrees. So we started I started really heavily pursuing how we could treat it. Surgery was obviously not the route we wanted to go. So I started Googling like holistic ways of dealing with scoliosis or handling scoliosis, and came across something called the Schroth method. And there are only 7 people trained in the United States to do this physical therapy, and 2 of them happen to be local. So,
Coincidence?
no.
I think not.
So I contacted one of the people. I had her X-ray sent to this physical therapist. She got her in right away. We started treatment. We got her set up with a Boston brace, which they kind of go hand in hand, the physical therapy and the brace. So it's been a rough year, you know, wearing a brace and doing physical therapy every day. It's been rough. But Thursday, I think, made it worth it.
This was the 6-month checkup where they do the X-ray just to kind of see how her back is doing and everything. So the physician assistant comes in after we do the X-rays, and she says, well, I have good news. And she handed us the X-ray kind of the 6 months ago and the one they took that day. And she said, I had to measure it several times because I thought I was measuring it wrong. She's like, honestly, I've never seen this happen, but it's basically was reduced by 20 degrees. And so yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
It's definitely still have some, you know, progression that we need to see or want to see happen, but the fact that it corrected itself that much, and you know, this was something that the PA had never seen, and even second guessed her measurements, is pretty incredible.
Yeah, we are people of faith. We believe that she will be healed even more. So we are continuing the process of the physical therapy and bracing, and she is not out of what they would consider that window for the recommended surgery level, but she's only 4 degrees away.
Yeah.
So it's like,
we'll get past
that, you know. At this point now, it's more aesthetic, of course, you know, like we want her to be as straight as possible because it looks more quote unquote normal. Of course, my mother heart would love for it to be as straight as possible, and that's what we're believing for. So
just keep walking.
Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
The adventure in. You can get all 10,000 steps in just by walking our garden. Bruh. Hey Joe, what does one of our pigs say to me every time I go out there? It really does. One of our only one. I swear, it's saying bruh. Bruh.
That's funny.
So one thing that I didn't tell you is on the way over there, I did tell Sayla, I was like, I looked at her, I said, so you ready to go laugh at this doctor again? Like, meaning, like, you know, like, we're not going to believe or accept or whatever that they're going to try to get us to do. And sure enough, like, it took everything in me to not laugh at her when she was like, I was questioning my measurements and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, heck yeah.
That's awesome. I asked Sayla, I said, you know, I asked her, I said, did it feel different? Or what did you feel like when they told you that you've had this massive change that they didn't expect? And she said, I didn't really feel anything because I knew that the Lord was going to heal me. And so I personally don't believe that God does anything halfway. I don't believe that this is the end of her journey for healing. And so it's going to be just really exciting to watch these doctors kind of witness
continue to be blown away.
Yes, yeah. And witness this miracle. And I'm excited to see the opportunities it gives Sayla to share.
Yeah. So if any of you guys are believers,
yes,
we would covet your prayers in that direction. Just for continued healing. So highs and lows.
Highs and lows. So my high, obviously, was Mother's Day and Selah. Selah's news that was like, this has been a long time coming. So that was a super high. And also, I got a robo vacuum for Mother's Day. And so now I get to pray. And while I'm out here praying, my house can be vacuumed.
We got her a maid.
Yes.
A Jetson maid.
Can I just tell you how happy it makes me that I can be out here and not vacuuming my house, yet it's getting vacuumed?
We've had one,
Best thing
and
ever.
she broke
Yes.
a long time ago. It felt like a long time ago. It's been a while.
That has been the hardest. It's such a first world issue. We're so spoiled, but it was so nice to not have to vacuum the downstairs.
Guys, if you're going to get your wife a vacuum, make sure it's a RoboVac.
Right. Give her the gift of free time. Like, it is not giving her a vacuum or a household appliance. It is gifting her with the gift of time.
That's a good point.
My low was probably like leading up to Thursday, obviously. Like, I had lots of anxiety, a lot of fear. Just, I knew the doctor's agenda. I knew, like, fear, like, again, if you're a believer, the reason why I don't go to these appointments is I am discerning. I could tell right off the bat from that first appointment that they did not see this going in a direction of her being restored and healed. I could tell from the way they were talking to us and their demeanor that in their mind, the only option was surgery.
Just a very defeatist attitude.
Yes. Yeah. So there was just a lot of anxiety that I experienced leading up to this appointment.
So my high, outside of that, because we
Yes.
spent the video talking about that,
Yeah.
was probably yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, small town
Yeah.
shindig. We went to the Poultry Festival in
Yeah.
Batesburg, Leesville, and it was fun. Actually, I say we went. I didn't go during the day. The girls were in the parade.
Yeah.
Cass took them to the parade for the dance, and then they had to go back in the afternoon to dance. So that's why yesterday was very hectic. And then I was trying to get the house ready and everything. So last night we decided to go back for the fireworks, and it was a lot of fun. I just had one of those like moments. I jokingly call them like Hallmark movie moments, where like we were just kind of sitting there. I was like, this is such like the perfect small town atmosphere.
Yes.
You know, like this is what Hallmark scripts are written about. Thankfully none of the drama that comes with all that, but
right.
hey, it was good. It was fun. It was fun. That was a high. Just
Yes.
kind of having a little bit of kind of downtime with that.
Yeah.
My low is probably that, I don't know, mammoth sunflowers. She is so excited about growing these, and I was so excited that one of the projects I worked on, she had a broken pot and asked me to get rid of it, and I was like, oh wait, I could like kind of situate this in the garden. I'll get like a little accent flower, all this nice stuff. Well, the one that she was so excited about that was coming up next to her greenhouse that she planted, I did not really pay attention. I mean, it was like this big. And
No, it wasn't. I have it over there. It was like this
whatever.
big.
I was like, there's sunflower. There's a lot of these in the garden. I need to make room. She texted me tonight. She's like, you killed one of my sunflowers. I guess that's my low. I don't know.
I replanted it.
Good. Because I was excited about having it. So, and there's plenty more. I'm sure. I'm sure that, I'm a month from now, I'm going to be like, oh my word, how many did you plant? But that's okay. But our garden is looking good.
It is looking good. So thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you have a great week and be blessed.